I ate my entire baked potato and got kicked out of dinner. My fiancée Lisa and I have been together for 6 years, and her parents invited us over for steak dinner last Tuesday. I've always eaten baked potatoes with the skin on because that's how my family does it, but Lisa once joked about never doing that around her mom. I didn't think much of it until we sat down to eat. Lisa's dad, Mike, was talking about football. Her mom, Janet, was asking about work. Everything seemed normal. Then I started eating my potato, skin and all. Mike tilted his head and gave Lisa this weird look, but didn't say anything. That's when Janet noticed what I was doing. Her face went completely pale and she stared at me like I was eating garbage or something. I kept eating because I thought maybe she was just surprised, but then she made this loud gagging sound right at the dinner table. She actually covered her mouth and ran straight to the bathroom. Lisa and Mike both jumped up to check on her, leaving me sitting there with my half-eaten potato wondering what the hell just happened. I could hear Janet throwing up in the bathroom and Mike whispering something to Lisa in the hallway. A few minutes later, Mike came back alone and politely asked me to leave. I was so confused. He explained that Janet has some dietary issues with potato skins, and seeing me eat mine made her sick to her stomach. I apologized and left, but I was honestly kind of annoyed. Who gets that upset over someone else eating food normally? 10 minutes later, Lisa called me screaming. She's yelling about how inconsiderate and rude I am, calling me an asshole for embarrassing her family. I tried to apologize again, but she cut me off and said we'd talk in the morning, then hung up on me. I spent all night reading advice online, and people were telling me to call off the engagement because this was crazy behavior over a potato. I was seriously considering it. The next morning, I woke up to apologetic texts from all three of them. Janet called and sounded terrible. She explained that she'd been feeling sick all day with the flu, but didn't want to worry anyone during dinner. She said seeing me eat the potato skin did gross her out a little because she'd never seen anyone do that, but she wouldn't have made such a scene if she hadn't already been feeling nauseous from being sick. But here's the real kicker. Lisa's crazy reaction wasn't just about the potato. While Janet and Lisa were talking that morning, Lisa knocked over a teacup and started crying over it. Janet realized something was up and suggested Lisa take a pregnancy test. 4 positive tests later, we found out I'm going to be a dad. Lisa had been having mood swings all week, and the stress of embarrassing me in front of her sick mom just made her completely lose it. Everyone apologized. Lisa cried about not wanting to ruin 6 years together, and Mike explained he only asked me to leave because Lisa seemed so upset. So yeah, it turns out my potato eating skills weren't the problem. It was just terrible timing with a sick mother-in-law and a pregnant fiancé having an emotional breakdown. Now I'm more worried about catching the flu than anything else.